Board. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to turn a light on. I'm sitting in the dark. Oh, now it's really bright. Maybe that'll calm down. All right, so that's a little better. So welcome, everyone. I just want to make a quick announcement because we're not medical professionals. We are here sharing our own experiences. The AO scan does not diagnose or treat. We're here helping each other with energy medicine, and just wanted to give that that short disclaimer in the beginning. And then I'm going to open up the chat. So if there's any questions, and if you're chatting, you can mute. I know muting. I'm not sure. Wow. I'm gonna have to. Usually we don't.
Nobody's TV in the background.
Yeah, I think we've got some. Luckily, we don't have a lot of people on because I couldn't find the mute all, so I just went around and muted everybody. So no more noise. If you can unmute, if you have a question, you're more than welcome to unmute. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to show you what I do every day. And I think we've done this before, but we've got some new people that and I just want to show you how easy it is, because I think the AO scan looks complicated, but when you really get down to it, it's pretty easy. I've been using it for 15 months. You know, maybe that's why I think it's so easy, because I've been doing it a while. I do every training that comes around just because I just love it. And I think that the more that I know about it, the more people I can help, the more I can help my family. So this is probably gonna make me sign in, but the way that works is I'm gonna put in my name and then it's gonna tell me I need to sign in. So no worries, now I sign in and now I can put in my name again. All right, so there I am. So when I get up in the morning, I start with the easy scan, and the easy scan is one button, but there's also the easy scan supplements. So if you're not seeing any supplements when you go to do a scan, it's because you haven't entered any supplements yet. So we're going to show that tonight too. But if you have entered your supplements, you should be able to click on the show all and choose the categories that you want. So general and whatever time of day is will come up automatically. I usually, unless I'm looking for something that would only be in the evening, I would just do general. I usually in the mornings will do my therapies, because I'm not going to go get a massage when I'm going to bed. So I don't usually check that one off at night. If I'm not looking for something to eat, which I've already eaten, I will just do the general. And the general has most of my supplements in it. And then I press start scan. And then this comes up where the scan is going, and I say, I am Heather Ploog. Oh, came up. Can I use your microphone? So I'm talking, but it needs that I am Heather Ploog. And then you can think about something fun, think about something sad, or you can say the ABCs, and then the scan will run. So while that's running, I'm just going to look at the questions in the chat. How do you save the transcription? That is a good question. We are in my Zoom. So let's see if I have that. I think I have to enable it. So, because we had to do that in Tish's Zoom, and I'm pretty sure I haven't done that yet. So David, now that I know how to do it, because I did it in the Healing ALS one, I will turn it on for next week. I don't think I can do it from here. I will enable transcriptions so that you can. For now, I am putting these up on YouTube. So I'll have the recording but if you don't see the same thing what you see when you're on Healing ALS, it's only because I haven't gone in there and changed that setting in Zoom. Thanks for letting me know. Karen says, I'm using for the first time tonight. Do you think I should do a 340-minute with Dr. Weber or pay for this a while first? 340-minute, like that's how much I thought he said he was charging 130 for 30 minutes. I don't know what the 340-minute is, but he had said 130 for 30 minutes.
30
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. All right. I think Dr. Weber is brilliant, and I think this scanner is just as brilliant. That it depends on, is it something where money's tight right now and you have to make a decision, one or the other? Is that, I mean, because if that's it.
Pretty amazing.
The scanner or Dr. Weber?
Dr. Weber.
I agree. He is pretty amazing. I actually called his office and said, don't put me in front of anybody that has ALS, but I'd like an appointment. So I think it can be great to get the one or two things that are the thing. The AO scanner is going to give you 120,000 different things. And when you look at those reports, you can pick out the things that come. What I do when I look at the reports, and we're going to show that tonight, is I look at the things that come up more often. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the number one thing. And I think he can do that. So I would do that. I think it's something everybody with ALS should do. Yeah, before we had him on, I don't know how many people know this, but we have a weekly meeting with clinicians and practitioners and people who are focused on helping people get well from ALS. And many of these people have been in functional medicine for many decades and have helped people who have had Lyme disease and other things that, can mimic ALS and can be a cause of ALS, but not the cause. But we try and let everyone have a week where they can talk. So when Dr. Weber talked for that, I mean, he's been in our group for months, only about 3 months, but so he's kind of new. But when he talked, I was like, this guy is brilliant. Like I didn't even know who he was before he talked. And then I told Tish, we got to get him on a Sunday. And she asked him and he came on the next Sunday. So it was only a couple of weeks ago that he talked for our group. But I went online. I don't know if anybody's done this. I went online to look for reviews, and he has the best reviews I've ever seen for a doctor. Like everybody's just raving about how he has helped them find the root cause. And that is what we all need. So yes, Karen, do that and do this. I'm glad it's not either or. Yeah. So Diane said, my 3 scans were very different. Should I expect consistently? I was hoping to get a starting point. Okay, so the first scan is getting to know you. And a lot of times it's got so much in it that it's overwhelming to look at all of that. But as I think about the third scan, it's gotten to know you enough where and it's gotten to balance you enough where there's less things to look at, and that's where it gets more comfortable. My first scan, I was like, oh my gosh, look at all this wrong with me, and there was a lot, and that's how I felt. It was around the third, fourth scan. it was narrowing down, and I could see there were things that were coming up on every scan that were balancing. Maybe they were coming up, but they were balancing a little bit on every scan, which is how I felt about, like, I had Lyme disease, Bartonella, and Babesia, and Candida were the 4 that I was seeing on like every scan. But they would start to balance. It would be a 9 and it would go to a 7. But then the next time I would scan, it would start out a 9 and go to a 7. So it was like rocking back and forth. So the frequencies were trying to help it, but it wasn't all the way being helped. And I went on a couple months like that. And then it seemed to be more balanced. I'd see more 5s. But once in a while, I still have Lyme or Bartonella that come up in my scans. So it's not completely gone. There's residual there. I don't think we ever completely get rid of something like that. But the one thing in my scans that didn't go away was Candida. I had a lot of Candida. There's like 6 or 7, maybe even 8 that it scans for. I had like 4 or 5 of them consistently. So I started looking for natural things I could do for Candida, and I scanned those into the scanner, and then they would come up as my supplement suggestions. So How to Arco was the one that came up consistently for that. So if you've got something that is showing up, like let's say you've got a lot of bacteria that are showing up, scan in something like oil of oregano or colloidal silver, which are natural antibiotics, and see if the scanner thinks that is what resonates with you. Or make sure you have your frequency supplements in so you can, if you need a bacterial detox or a viral detox, the scanner can tell you. Just also make sure that if that comes up in your supplement suggestions, you're putting in some support also. You don't want to just do detoxes. You want to do detoxes with immune support and health support and recovery and all the other things that we've shown on other nights. And I will show how to get those supplements in. So you can see here, the easy scan did finish. And on my end, I don't have to listen to the tones anymore. When the scan is being done, I can hear it, but you guys can't. So I was just suffering through that 6 minutes there. But if you haven't seen this setup for the inner voice, and if you're not ready for this, this does look complicated. You can always switch back to the old way, and it's just one button that plays the 4 things for 12 minutes. But I will tell you that this way to listen to it is much more powerful, and you can get the same amount of healing that it took 12 minutes in 3 minutes. And I suggest just starting with 3 minutes twice a day. These things just switch the way you listen to it. You can switch the music, you can switch the pulse, how much it pulses. And it's all personal preference. What do you like? You can turn this on and be listening to it and fool around with all these. You can, this is the shape of the frequency. This over here is how loud the frequency is. So you can make that louder or more quiet. This is how loud the music is. So if you wanted to hear your frequency and not so much of the music, you could do something like that. I don't know why you would want to, but it always starts about here. It's not going to be exactly where it starts. It always starts with the triangle, which I think is the most pleasant way to listen to the frequency. It always starts with 4. And this is how many octaves it's fixing at once. So if you want to bring this down, say, I don't think I'm ready for 4. Let's do 2. Or I'm not feeling, I'm feeling a little wound up after I do 4. Let's bring that down. Or maybe you're thinking, hey, let's push it right up to 6. If you're feeling good, I usually leave that either at 4 or I push it down to 3 just because I'm a longtime Tesla researcher and he liked 3 6s and 9s. But the music, it was always whatever music came with it. So now you can choose your own music. So in the morning, I'll do some of these superchargers or the neuro aerobics. When I'm listening in the middle of the day, I usually pick one of the calm trances or the meditation. And then when I'm listening at night, I usually do one of these dream, just because they have dream in the title. I don't know if they help me dream. That's another whole thing. But then we just push the pulse cycle. And as long as we have it on 3 minutes, it will only play for 3 minutes. If we have it on 5 minutes, we can listen to it for 5 minutes. And again, you can push that up to 10 minutes. So that's how that works. And the easy scan itself, like, it gives you your supplement suggestions. So it's telling me I need to imprint these 4 things. And I usually imprint those right into water. And what I've started doing, instead of imprinting it into a glass, like, because this is the glass I drink out of. But if I were to do that, I'd have to do it, you know, I don't know, however many, this is 32 ounces, and that fits right on my scanner. So I put that right into the 32 ounces of charged water or structured water, however you want to, clean structured water. And then it's telling me I need Liver Life, which isn't a surprise. And then this Vitality by Melaleuca is something that's been coming up a lot. I tried some Melaleuca supplements, which it's my first time trying them. I've heard that brand has been around for a long time, but I've never tried their supplements. So anyway, and then it only tells you what's wrong. So when you go down here and you see a whole bunch of reds and oranges, it's because it's only showing you what's wrong. So don't freak out that I have all this wrong with me because it's all red and orange. It's only showing what's wrong. But we want, what I noticed in the beginning, these lists would be very long, and then they did get better. So it's showing me I've got something going on with my root chakra, my heart chakra, and my third eye. So I can go down here to the descriptions and I can see what those things can be causing. Now, I'm going to tell you that because I'm on my computer, it may be a little bit off. You know, I'm still going to do a scan a little bit later from my device. I like doing them from the device. I do think it's more accurate from the device. It could be accurate from the computer, but I trust it more from my device. So that's me, myself. But here, I always like to point this out. When you get down to the comprehensive scan and you're looking at it from the easy scan view, it says 100% from ideal. And that again is only because it's showing you only what's wrong. So there's probably about 30 other things in this category and there's one thing wrong. So you're really nowhere near from 100% from ideal. Don't ever take that. I've had so many people freak out when they see that. I just always like to point that out. So should you be expecting consistency? I hope I answered that well for you, Diane. Do 3 or 4 scans and then compare them. That's where the consistency comes in, and that's where we're able to get a good idea of what's going on. You can copy the chat, but I don't think you can do the transcript, Karen. I did look when David asked that, and I didn't see a way to do it. The chat. Yeah, you have to be able to start a transcript. And I think I had to enable that in the Healing ALS one. I just should have done it to mine the same day I did that. So Connie said, sorry, I know I asked this before, but how do you get the scan onto your computer? So it's just, hopefully you can see at the top of my screen, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, but it's just this app.aoscan.com. And it is so much easier to see and to search. So I can, like, if I were in my vitals and I open up the report. So once you go in here, this is the easy scan I just did. But let's say I wanted to just look for HCl. I can open up a search thing. So I just did Control F. And if you're on a Mac, it's Command F, I think. But I did HCl, so I can just jump right to where the HCl is. And I don't know why it's only telling me there's one, but it should, there's the HCl production, which I'm not producing HCl that well, but the frequencies are moving, so it's trying. And then let's do hydrochloric. There it is. So this is the actual HCl, which I've gone back to where I'm taking HCl with my meals because production has been coming up a lot. But I mean, look at my digestive over on the right. It's kind of a mess, but the frequencies bring a lot of that back. I am trying to eat clean. I promise, I haven't been cheating at all. Carol said, when I scan them, I have to reset everything with my name each time. Am I doing something wrong? Scan them. I have to read. Carol, can you unmute? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So up here?
I'm not, yeah, so, well, today I used this for the first time.
Yeah.
And I was able to do someone else, but when I did myself, it scanned, I had to turn off the phone, I showed you.
Yeah.
And when I came up, nothing was saved. Is that customary, or did I have to save it, or what?
So when you go into search client, are you in there?
Yes,
Okay, are you saved? So you can put in, like if I put in, I'll look for my husband. So if I put in him, he comes up.
yeah, I can see that. Well,
Okay.
actually,
So when you put in your name, you come up, right?
yes,
And what do you mean? Like the scans themselves aren't saving?
yes,
Okay, so if you do it's probably the same thing I'm seeing with Easy Scan. Let me go back into me because there is something going on right now that I can't get back into the Easy Scan, but you can get into the pieces of the Easy Scan, the inner voice, the vitals, and the comprehensive.
well, at the moment, I cannot. At the moment, can you see this? I was
Yep.
in, and I can't get out of that. I'm trying.
Oh, so
Yeah.
whenever you want to back up to the menu, up in the left-hand corner, there's a thing that looks like an infinity sign with it says AO scan.
Okay,
Click on that, that'll bring you to the main menu.
okay, I see now, okay. All
Now you
right.
should be able to go into the inner voice and your reports will be there. You just have to click. See how when I get here, I can listen to the music here, but I can't see the reports until I click on reports.
I see, okay, I think I have it now, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. And that's the same with any of them. If you go into vitals, this is where you scan from, and you can do the vital scan individually by pressing scan and then optimize. But if you want to look at the last one you ran, and every time you run an easy scan, it'll populate the vitals. You go into the reports. So that's how you look at it. And with the comprehensive, there's an extra step here. You just have to click one of these, doesn't matter which one, and you just go into reports. And whenever I go into comprehensive, I always change it to table view because I can't stand that picture view. I wish table view was the default, but tell you the truth, some people like that picture view because that was a debate. I was like, why doesn't the default to table view? And some people were like, no, I like the picture view, image report. But with this, if you have, not so much on the cells, but let's say we want to know where this pancreatic duct is. It actually click on the title of it and it brings up a picture and it will point to exactly where that is. Now, if I was on my phone, I could very easily make this bigger and smaller. I can't figure out how to do that from my computer. So, but you can also, like, let's say we just want to know where on the body it is. So we want to put some skin on this. You can also look at more or less detail, but it usually does bring it to about the detail you need to see that body part. So that's just a little bit. So in the vitals, if you click on the title, it gives you like a description of what you're looking at instead of the picture. Hey, Freddie, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like the bike behind you.
yeah.
Lisa says, I want to know what additional reports I will get access to after I complete phase 2 training. So I know I had that open at one time. Let me go into my phase 2 training folder. Pretty sure I have a list. If I can, sometimes the Zoom controls get in the way. So I know you can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'll switch it over once I find it. Current working, Solex phase 2. I think that'll probably, yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna share my Photoshop instead of my. I got so much going on. All right, where'd Zoom go? There we go. Share. Photoshop. Not responding. Let's see if it does it. There we go. Can you see my screen? I think you can, right? So there's 18 databases that get opened up. This is kind of an advanced question, and I can show you how this works, but there's 18 that get opened up completely when you do phase 2 and 3, but for phase 2, I believe it's 13 of them that get opened up. So it's the allergens, the bacteria, definitely the emotions, food sensitivities, heavy metals. I think it's the hormones. I'm gonna have to go. I wish I had them highlighted because this was what they showed in phase 2. Let me see if I can open up. Let me see if I have one more, because there's got to be one that just shows the one that open up in phase 2, because that's all of them that open up in both of them. There's got to be another one. Working Solex phase 2. Nope, that's not it. All right, so I can tell you that it's not miasms because that's phase 3. Definitely the pathology is phase 3. These phenolics, that's, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. That's phase 3, and pesticides is definitely phase 3. So that's 4. I think there's only one other one. I think it's insect bites, which is kind of another strange one. So I think all of the rest of them are phase 2, opened up in phase 2. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, phase 2 is absolutely amazing because, let me stop the share of this. If you want to know what's going on a organ, so you want to know what is bothering your heart, you can go in and you can see what emotions are bothering it, what viruses, all of those things that I just saw. It has a list of how many, which ones, how long, what percentage. So you can really dig down on the detail. Now, just because we're not seeing this before we pay for that training and open up those databases, that's still happening in the background. So you don't have to have that amount of information. Some people look at the information we have now and they're like, it's enough. Actually, it's too much. So they don't want to go to that extra level of training. So the extra levels of training are, I was explaining this to someone today. Solex used to have levels of membership. So if you wanted those databases, you would pay $300 a month. They decided to do that differently and to leave the membership $149 a month for everyone. But if you want that extra information, you pay for the training once. And then you have it and your membership is still going to be $149 a month. So it's just a different way of doing it. I love it because I'd rather pay $250 one time than have my membership have to go up to $300 a month. So, and I love having the extra database. So hopefully that answered it, Lisa. And we can talk about that again tomorrow. I'll get clarity on that. Make sure that I have the right 13. So Karen said, first thing I do in the morning is lay on the beamer for 20 minutes. Could I scan while on the beamer? So the beamer is PEMF. And I don't know, mixing energies. You could listen to your frequencies while you're on it, but if you do a scan while you're on it, the PEMF is already sending you square wave. So it might screw your scan up. That's kind of what I think. Because one time I scanned my husband when he was wanding, and the scan had some really weird things on it. And I was like, maybe we shouldn't do that in the future. Just some things were like completely out of balance when I didn't think they should be. And it didn't look like his scans usually look. So we scanned them again later. But yeah, I think it's all right to listen to the inner voice, but try and do your scan before you get on the beamer and then listen to your inner voice while you're on the beamer. And I think that would be a perfect combination. Love those beamers. Whenever I'm at a conference where they have one, I always take advantage of it. So it's really good that you have one. They're awesome machines. So, hi Heather, this is Raj. Is there any contraindications to using the EZOV and the AO scan? Are they more beneficial together to align the chakras? Okay. So I'm just learning about the EZOV. From Dr. Cowden, and I watched a Truth About Cancer where he talked about the EZOV and the aligning of the chakras. I think they will both align the chakras. I think there is no reason why you couldn't align the chakras with one and then align the chakras with the other. And then I know that the thing that Dr. Tennant has, the biomodulator and the transducer, those also align chakras and give yourself energy. There's lots of things that we can do to raise our energy if our chakras are not aligned physically. There's people that pronounce the zipper, so you just kind of like you're zipping up your body, start at your feet and zip, and that can help align chakras. I like to do the chakra frequencies on the AO scan. I think there's no reason why we can't give ourselves all of those healing energies. So I will confirm that with Dr. Cowden and see what he thinks, because like I said, I am just learning about the EZOV. So, but I don't see any reason why they can't go together. He has very high, it's funny that we see Dr. Cowden all the time, and then you see him on something like The Truth About Cancer talking about the EZOV. And I'm like, you know what? Why didn't I know about this before? We talk to him all the time, but I had never heard of it. So I'm glad you're using it. It looks like a great machine, and I think they can both be used together for sure. So Marilyn says, if you scan and did not send to an email, how do you view the scan later? So let's go back to sharing. As long as it's the last scan you did, you can do that. but if you didn't email it to yourself and you did another scan, you're gonna lose it. So I can get the last scan, the last inner voice, just by going into reports. So you go to inner voice and reports. Lately, I am having a problem getting into some old easy scans. Looks like I'm not having a problem getting into my husband's. Earlier, it would not let me get into mine. I'm just going to take a look and see if that's resolved. So easy scan. No, I can get back in. All right, so you just go in and you click on reports in whatever it is you want to do. So you're in the body systems. You could scan and then you would lose the last one that you had because it would write over it. But if you wanted to email it to yourself before, the email is always in the upper right corner. It's always a pink button. When you open it up, it will have the email of the person whose account it is, and then you can add an email recipient. This is new. This they added last August. So hope that helps. And Lisa says, I have been learning how to piece together the food sensitivities results in combination with other sections. Hang on, just jump down a little bit. Other sections of the vitals report in the combination with organ function, minerals, and toxicities. And I learned that sometimes a food shows up in red because we actually need it. I am feeling more excited about using the feedback from the scanner to help me figure out what is going on with my health. I keep discovering new things with the scanner every day. I love that, Lisa. I'm so glad. And yes, I know at least once I've given the example, hopefully on this call, I think I have, because I say it so much, but one of the biggest examples I had of that was something I had never heard of, which I'm surprised so many people know what it is, but mung beans. When I saw it coming up red on my scanner, every time I did a scan, I was like, okay, I got to look into what a mung bean is. So I started looking for it in grocery stores and couldn't find it anywhere. So I looked on Amazon and I found organic mung beans and I bought them and I scanned them into my scanner and it said, eat a cup of mung beans. I put in 1 cup and 2 cups. So I ate a cup of mung beans, cooked mung beans, and then it started showing up green for a while. And then I did notice doing my vitals, mung beans came up, started going orange, and then it went to red. And when it went to red, guess what was one of my supplement suggestions? Again, this time it said 2 cups of mung beans. So now I have a whole new category of food. So when you're putting your supplements in, you're going to get here and there's going to be nothing here except for a plus. There's going to be none of this underneath. So you push the plus and let's say I wanted to put in broccoli sprouts, which I do. So if I can remember how to spell broccoli, I think it's 2. It's gonna tell me, yay, it's gonna tell me I can't spell. So I'm gonna put that, I'm gonna put in sprouts. And I'm going to put it in as a food. So I added this category. Food is not one of the regular categories, but you can add categories. So I just made a food category and then I can say, you know, 1/2 cup. I think what I did before was I just did that and I left it at unspecified. So I know that, I mean, I don't have any broccoli sprouts to scan in right now, so I'm just going to save that, but I do have broccoli sprouts to sprout. So that's something I'm going to be scanning in soon. So that's how you do that. Now, the supplements that come with the scanner are in this green book. So before you even enter anything, you can come in here and press select all and have some supplements. So you select all these will become checked. And then, sorry, Zoom controls. And then you scroll all the way down the bottom and press add to client. And then all the frequencies will come up whenever you do an easy scan or a quick scan. That's when you're going to see supplements. So yeah, great information there, Lisa. If anybody didn't know that, if you're out of balance on food sensitivities, can mean you're sensitive to it, can mean you need it. And a lot of times when I see people come up with red on cloves and black walnuts, their parasites are super high. So that can just mean, hey, we need to do a natural parasite cleanse and use clove and black walnut. Sorry. Could you demonstrate imprinting a preloaded detox or supplement? So yeah, so let's go over. So in the blue book is where the real supplements are, the supplements that we have, the therapies that we put in. You can group things by category, and I might as well do that because I'll go into the food where we just were. And if I were on my phone, I would just click on the title of that, and then I would have the broccoli sprouts in a glass or in a glass bowl or a glass, any kind of glass container. So I'd put a half a cup in here, or I might change that to a weight because I have a food weight, but whatever the dosage is, put it on top of here in a glass container, and then just press this scan button. And when you do, that little box is going to come up, scan the frequency in there. If you got different broccoli sprouts or a new batch and you wanted to do it again, just do the same thing. Click on the title of it and then rescan. And you can rescan anything. So if you got like a new bottle of something and you thought, hey, this seems a little off, doesn't look like it's the right color or whatever, and you want to scan it in and see if it's still coming up, might have a different energy. I know Dr. Weber was saying he uses this one brand of supplement, and he got a batch in from them and muscle tested the supplement, and it all muscle tested bad. And he had been using that brand for a while, and he called up the company and he said, there's something wrong. What's different? Because this, I can't give this to people because it muscle tests as something that's not good for anyone. And they said they had just changed the capsule they were putting the supplement into. So he said, take it back, and I'm not going to buy from you until you change your capsules back. So just knowing that. And I'm going to tell you something else that I've been seeing a lot lately. And I think it's very important. I've been seeing it on a lot of scans. I've been doing a lot of clearing and shielding because I want to make sure it's not me. Whenever I see a repeat of something coming up, I want to make sure that it's not me that's making it come up. But I've been seeing this with a lot of people. Gelatin is coming up as a food sensitivity. And I wonder, because I've been seeing it so often, and I always ask, are you taking a lot of supplements? And they usually are. Those gel caps could be that same gel cap that Dr. Weber said is no good for you. Maybe you're getting a gel cap that's just no good for you. So if you're scanning and you're seeing gelatin, red a lot, and you're taking a lot of supplements, try opening up those supplements and throwing out the gel caps and just taking what's inside those supplements. Maybe it's the supplement casing, the gelatin of this casing that's causing so much. I've been seeing a lot of red when I do a lot of scans. So just putting that out there. Keep an eye on your gel caps. So when I add my supplements, do I set them on the scanner and imprint? Then when I imprint the water, the supplement goes into the water. So you, just like I showed a minute ago, and I'll just show it again just because it's super easy to do. Go in, click on your name, click on supplements and therapies, click on, let's just click on this. So let's say I wanted to rescan my number 4 ferrum, which is just a homeopathic remedy. I would just put, now these are just little pellets. So I would actually put them right on the screen because they're pellets. If it was a powder or an oil or a liquid, you'd need some kind of a container for it because you don't want to have to clean up your screen from that. So just some kind of a glass bowl. But with supplements that are a tablet or a capsule, you can put them right on the screen. So just put it right on the screen, press rescan, which I shouldn't have done that because now I'm going to have to rescan the supplement. And then it's in there. Now, when you do a quick scan or an easy scan, either one, you're going to pick the category that you want in there. And usually I just do general unless I'm like in the morning, I'll do therapies, but not at night. So then the quick scan, any time of day that you wanted to know what you need, you can just press scan, takes 10 seconds, and it'll pull up everything that you should take. So I have Fenben in a packet. That's a parasite cleanse actually. And then St. John's wort, vitamin E, and then number 5 Kali. And then these ones here are ones that I can imprint. So one of them is Mammary Sport, and the other one is another homeopathic Ignatia Amara. So that is where you imprint them. You imprint them when they come up as a suggestion. Can't really go into, like, I can't go into supplements and say, like things that you scan in, you can't imprint. When they come up as a supplement suggestion, you have to take them. It doesn't turn them into something you can then scan in. Like you can't scan it in later. You got to take it. Hopefully that made sense. I feel like I said it 3 times. Not sure if it was understood. Hopefully. So can my entered supplements be transferred to my husband's list? Absolutely. So when you enter somebody new, let me just go in. I'm not sure who I haven't put, and I don't want to just pull up any random person, but we'll pull up my brother-in-law, and hopefully I didn't put all the supplements in for him. So when you're on somebody else, so every time you create a new person, it creates a new profile. So yeah, I haven't put any supplements in for my brother-in-law. So what I would do here is I would just go into the green book first, either one first, doesn't really matter, but select all. So that puts in all the frequencies. And then add to client. And then go into the blue book and select all and add to client. So the other thing I wanted.
Can you show the add to client place again? I missed that.
Yeah, so you scroll all the way down the bottom. Oh, sorry. So now we're here. So now it won't let me select them because they're already in his profile. But down the bottom, down the very bottom, this will be clickable. Like it's not clickable now because there's nothing I can add for him. But the other thing is, let's say I haven't scanned Joe in a while, but I've put in 20 new supplements. So I can show this probably on my husband because we don't do him all the time. So we'll go over and take a look at supplements. So when I press select all, the ones that are already in for him are not going to be selected. But these new ones that I put in, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. I was watching The Truth About Cancer, and they were talking about digestive enzymes and what the best ones were. I took one of the things that they had, and I just put it in here to see if it would come up for me. So if you want to see if you should buy a supplement, put the supplement name in there. You don't have to be able to scan it in, but just see if it comes up as a suggestion. But back to what we were doing. So there's a few things that weren't weren't in there when I added them, so I can actually just add those new things to my husband or to whoever's up in here. So every time I scan someone new, I do try and put the supplements in there for them, because I usually, when I do a demonstration, I do the easy scan, which does the inner voice, the vitals, and the comprehensive. Now, most people who are out there doing demo scans for the AO scan are just doing the inner voice. And I just think that I work with mostly people who are chronically ill. And yeah, our emotions are one part of it, but we really want to see what's going on. And that, to me, is very important to show. So I do that. Most people are charging $250 for that. I've seen that all over the place because I was doing some research. I don't care, because I think we should show it for free. Then if you want to do it, I think you're going to get the most benefit by owning it. You're not going to get the most benefit by hiring someone and having them do scans for you. You're going to get the most benefit from owning it and using it daily. But I want to show you that, and I want to show you all that it can do in it. And sometimes I'll even do a body systems scan for people if they want to see that too. And I do that all for free. I think it should be, the demonstration should be all of it. Lisa said, FYI, regarding the question about inconsistency in different scans, the Solex folks say that we should actually be looking for trends and patterns across 3 to 5 scans, more like 5 scans, instead of just focusing on the results of only one. And I totally agree with that. Sometimes I'll even take the attachments that are Excel spreadsheets. It's easy to do this with, or easier to do it with the vitals, because most of the time when you do a vital scan, you do the whole scan and it's the same every time. So you can take the Excel spreadsheet and copy other scans and put them all in one Excel spreadsheet. Then you can see what never is green, or what is always, if it's never a 5 or it comes up red more off. You can look for whatever pattern you want. But what I usually look for is what never comes out balanced. That thing is always either a red or an orange. There's something going on there that's a little bit harder, that the frequencies aren't. And you can also see, is it moving? Is it moving at all? Or does it come up red a lot? So there's a lot of different ways you can look at that, but that's easier in the Excel spreadsheet. And that is the only time I use those Excel spreadsheets, because I usually like to look at the scans online. I find it easier if we want to, like if I'm in my vital scan and I have a question of something that's going on, and you're not going to have a question on food, but somewhere down in, let's say, left ventricular effective pump power, I'm not medically trained, but I click on the title of it and get a little blurb. And if I don't like what it says, if I think I need more information, I go to a search engine and just look it up. So if there's something that's coming up consistently, I don't click on every single one of these every single time, but if it's something that's coming up consistently, I'll do a little research into it. Thanks, Lisa, for sharing that. It's absolutely true. Connie said, for essential oils, oregano, thyme, or the olive leaf extract, how many drops would you put into the glass container to scan? It depends on how many drops you would normally take, or and you can scan in different amounts. So with, I was trying out this thing called alma seed, and it said to take 8 tablespoons of alma seed. Well, that's an awful lot. That's like a whole cup of the stuff. So I put in 2 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons, 6 tablespoons, and 8 tablespoons. And I scanned them all into my scanner. So started with 2, then added 2 more. So I have 4 different things in my scanner for alma seed. Most of the time when it comes up, it tells me to take 2. So if it told me to take more, now I have another one, Argentine 23, which I was out of for a little while. I put in a teaspoon, a tablespoon, and that was it. and a tablespoon kept coming up. So, and it was coming up daily. So I put in 2 tablespoons and now that's coming up. So if you notice that you're at the top dosage of something, put in something higher. Maybe you need a little bit more. So it's a good way to figure out dosage. So that's my best answer for that one. Lisa said, I also learned how to identify if an individual has issues with groupings of foods like histamines, oxalates, and nightshades. Yeah. So, is that in phase 1, Lisa? Because I know you just took phase 1. Maybe I have to redo phase 1. I know I've seen Becky talk about that, but I don't remember how. A lot of times it takes me more than once. So celery is an oxalate. I just try and remember what they are. Spinach is also, and that's not coming up. So maybe if you can share how, or maybe just tell me, go review phase 1, because once you pay for a training, you always have it and you can review it. So I can do that also. So Connie said, if you add those on the computer, does it also carry over to the scanner automatically? Yes. So I just added broccoli sprouts. Then when I get my broccoli sprouts sprouted, I'm going to put them on my scanner and scan them in, but they will be in here. So yeah, it does go from one to the other. Everything that you put in on your scanner will come up when you sign. It's all attached to your sign in. So if I scanned, let's say, for example, Carol, because she's on the top of our Zoom list, just if I scanned Carol on mine and put all the supplements here, but then she decided to get her own, she's not going to have all the supplements that I put in for her on my scanner because that's my sign in. She still has to put in all the supplements on her profile when she gets her own sign in. So that's how that works. Marilyn says, when I scanned in some supplements, I put the whole bottle on. Should I take the supplement out of the bottle to imprint? Yeah. So don't, that's one thing when they go over it in the training, they say, don't put the whole bottle on, because then it's never going to come up that you need it, because it's taking the frequency of the whole bottle. Plus the bottle is probably plastic and you should only scan things. But even if it's a glass bottle, don't put the whole bottle on. Take whatever the dosage is. So if you want to put 1 capsule on there and scan that, that would be 1. And if you're not sure if you need 2, make a whole nother entry and then put 2 capsules on there and scan that. Or you can, like Lisa, brilliant, what she told me she did before her scanner came, she got her on her computer and entered all of her supplements. So then when her scanner came, all she had to do was scan them in. So, I mean, that's brilliant. And I probably wouldn't have thought of that without you, Lisa. So thanks. Do you recommend taking only the supplements that are suggested, scanning 3 times a day? That's what I do. But if you are working with a nutritionist who's saying you need to take magnesium every single day, then do that. Check with them. And then if you're looking at your scans and magnesium is out of balance and you're taking magnesium every day, maybe it's the wrong form of magnesium, because there are so many forms of magnesium. And I know that magnesium, when my son was having seizures every day, magnesium was the supplement that made those seizures go away, but not until we found the right form. So we had tried citrate and a few other ones that you can find in most stores. And then we finally found that the oil, the Epsom salts, and we had this CalMag, which is a CalMag C. So it's a combination of calcium, magnesium, and C, and it was a powder. And we had tried another powder called Calm, and that one didn't work. but the CalMag C would take the seizures away by itself. The magnesium oil and the Epsom salt baths, I'd have his feet in Epsom salt all day long and be spraying magnesium oil on it, and it would make it better. So I knew I was on the right track, but I had to find something that absorbed with him. So you may be different, you know, everyone's different. So you got to find the thing that works for you. And it's not, I would say it's not ever the same for everybody, but that's my experience. Lisa said, can you remind me of which scan should be done very infrequently because it is taxing on the body? And so the comprehensive scan, when you pick everything, I've only done it twice, and I've been doing this a year. When I first got my scanner, I came in here and chose everything. There's a lot, and that's the one. You don't ever need, it's a good marker of where everything is. And what I did it when I first got the scanner. I did it a year after using the scanner because I wanted to compare everything, but I don't think we don't usually have to do this. The way this works, so the reason there's all these buttons, if we've done an inner voice and we want to do the comprehensive scan based on only the inner voice, we would go here. And the things that would be checked off in the comprehensive scan would be the things that it found when it did the inner voice scan. So if we've done the vitals and not the inner voice, and we want to do the comprehensive scan based on what's in the vitals, then we would click this button and it would show only the things that it thinks it should scan because of what it found in the vital scan. If you've done both of those scans, then you can do the combined, and it'll pick the things that it thinks it should scan because of both of those scans. Why would someone only have just a vitals? This is when we don't have the voice. So if we can't do an inner voice, we can still do the vitals, and we can still do the comprehensive, but we can do the comprehensive based only on the vitals. We can also go into custom scan and choose deselect all and go in here and choose whatever we want. So let's say I'm having a problem with my eyes. I just want to look at my eyes and my lymph because I want to see if everything's moving. And I would look at nerves in the brain and the head. You can look at other things too, but let's say that's all I want to look at. Then I would press scan and optimize, and it would be a short version of a comprehensive. Now, if you decide after that, hey, now I want to look at my heart, and it's only 5 minutes later, it's not going to let you. You have to wait an hour. You can only do the comprehensive once an hour. And the vitals is that way too. You can do the inner voice scan as many times as you want, but the comprehensive won't let you do it more than once an hour per person. So scan everything that you want to do in one scan. Don't come back and do another one. Unless you want to wait an hour. Can you explain what the two columns mean, in range, out of range? Yeah, so so I'm going to do it from the vitals. So it's just an easy way to see everything that's in the 8, 9, 1, or 2. So 7s are going to wind up in the in range because they're closer to being balanced. So they're taken 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and all of those will wind up in range. So you see how I can just quickly look at this out of range one and see there were 5 things that were out of range, but there's only 2 on this side. So it's just a quick way to look at those colors and keep them separated so you can visually see what's coming back into balance. Like all of these things were out of balance, but if they were in the same column as these other things, it would be harder for me to be able to see, you know, okay, we got 1, 2, 5, 8 things that were out of balance, but they all came back into balance over here. So it's just an easy way to see what things are optimizing. You're very welcome. I think we got through all the questions. Does anybody, I didn't notice any hands up. Did I answer everybody's questions?
Heather, my AO scan is on a place where I can't get to it anymore. Can I talk with you after maybe?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
you're welcome. How about if I'll send you an email with my, my private Zoom room and we'll do that, or do you want to get on the phone?
Private Zoom room is great.
Awesome, we'll do
Okay.
that. All right, and anybody that's here, if you need extra help, I do one-on-one Zooms all the time. I am definitely available for extra help. David, go ahead.
Has anybody tried to set up their AO scanner without using Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi is dangerous for people with ALS and with chronic diseases. We need to be hardwired. Has anybody found out from them how to hardwire these to your computer?
The tablet. Yeah, that's the phones have to run on Wi-Fi. The tablet is able to be plugged into the computer without Wi-Fi.
They told me the opposite when I called.
They told you the opposite? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
I'll have to call again.
At Solex support or?
yeah, before I bought the thing, I wanted to find out how to connect it, and they told me that only the phone version would connect. It does have what do you call it? The C port, whatever it's called. And do you know what the port on the side is for? They have the charging port, which is a
Yeah, the SIM card, I think, is the port on the side.
no, there's a SIM card one, separate, but anyway, I'll have to call them and find out. Now, you mentioned training tonight. They offer training. We go to the Solex website to find the training.
Yeah, so the basic training is available to everybody that's in the back office for setting it up. And so I can put that. Hopefully I sent you a welcome email with this in it. If I didn't, I will find that out. Did you get a welcome email from me with a bunch of training in it?
Not
If I
that-
didn't send that to you, I can send that to you. This is how you sign into the back office. So it's office2.solexnation.com.
Office 2.
Yeah, you don't need the rest of it. Office2.solexnation.com. And then just use your username and password. I can tell you that when I got the Solex, I looked up the SAR value of this phone, and it's only 200. So the EMFs are very low, but I know Wi-Fi is not good for us anyway, and that's very conscientious of you to be doing that. But I will look into if there is a way to turn a C port into an Ethernet, but I just don't know if that's possible. I did want to mention tonight, and if you have more to that question, just before anybody starts dropping off, in the month of April, it's a free upgrade to be a QLA. So if you had any interest at all in the business and telling other people about this and having your membership be paid for, or even above and beyond that, get some extra money in your pocket, it's free to upgrade. All you have to do is call Solex and say, I would like to be a QLA, and they will just switch you over from a preferred customer to a QLA. So if you're thinking about doing that 6 months down the road, do it now because it's free. It's usually $49. So, All right, David, was that your only question or did you have something else? Oh, I think,
Sorry, I forgot to put my hand down.
oh, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure. QLA is Quantum Living Associate. It just means that you want to tell other people about it. So if you think that, you know, in a couple of months when you get better at it, you want to tell other people about it. Now is the time because it's free. I know when Dawn started scanning, she didn't want to do the business right away, but then they had a 49-cent special last year. So that's when she decided it was, I think it was last, well, it must have been this month because she said she just got recharged the $49. But so it is a yearly thing. So if you sign up for free now and don't tell one person about it, you can downgrade to a preferred customer next year before your renewal comes up. Or if you have told people about it, then the money that you make in the business hopefully pays for next year's renewal, which it absolutely should. Hi, Suzanne.
Hi.
You guys have a question?
Oh, we've got so many questions. So every day I get up and I take my scanner and I do a scan here and a scan there, 3, 4 a day. And I play the music in the background all day long. But I have no idea if I'm doing things right. And I really need to have some time with you sometime in order to do it. The reason I can't be here sooner is that ordinarily we have meetings on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And I can get off and get to you by about 8:30, 8:45. But by then everybody's ready to go.
Oh,
So
okay.
I would love to have some time with you individually to
Yeah.
see if I'm doing things right. Because
Yeah.
I already don't understand half of what you said tonight.
All right.
So,
Yeah, okay. So I also do record these, so I'm gonna send you the recording and I'm gonna send you a link to my calendar. So that we
Okay.
can set up some time, just me and you.
all
Sound
right,
good?
that would be great. Thank you.
All right. All right. Lisa, I see that you have a high-tech question. We're gonna get together on a Zoom tomorrow. Do you want to do that then? So I'm sure we'll have some time while I'm making those phone calls for you because I know the people that we're calling are gonna have us on hold. It's the way that one works, so. And that's not Solex, we're doing something completely different, but, well, if the pre-filter on one of my high techs does not show much debris on it compared to my other high tech, should I change it? If it doesn't look too bad, you don't have to. I would say a lot of times, like I have a couple running and I have one that is collecting more than the other. I vacuum that once or twice a week because I have a dog now and dog hair does that. But yeah, if it doesn't look too bad, the thing is, if you're at the 90 days, you should move those reactor pads soon. And if you got them at the same time, maybe you want to stay on the same schedule just so it doesn't get confusing. You don't forget when you change them. But if the pre-filter doesn't look that bad, you don't have to change it. So yeah. Marilyn said, what scan would you recommend daily or several times a day? The easy scan. So I do the easy scan in the morning, I do it at night, and then I do the quick scan in the middle of the day. So yeah. And you know, if you wanted to cut it down and not do the easy scan, you didn't have 6 minutes, you only had a minute, 5 minutes. So you'd need a minute to do the inner voice scan and then 3 minutes to listen to the inner voice. That would be the most important one. So if that's all you could do, but when we do the easy scan, it's doing the vitals and the comprehensive. So it's scanning and optimizing. So it's sending us those frequencies that are the middle of the road ones, the healthy frequencies. So whatever's out of balance will get the balance for it. So that's why I like to do the easy scan. Even if I never look at the reports, which I'd say 90% of the time, I don't look at my own reports because I do my scan, I listen to my music while I'm doing other things, and then I get on with other things. If I've got something going on, I'll look at my reports. Like a couple of weeks ago, I had this nagging pain at my rib cage, and I looked and my liver was screaming. It was 82% from ideal. So we don't want to see numbers like that. And when we do, we want to do something about it. So those are the times if you've got something going on, or if you can just scan through and look for those big numbers. Sometimes that's all I do. So yeah, good. You did rotate the other filters awesomely. So they got to do that it's kind of like when you rotate your tires on your car, it keeps the life of them better. All right. So anybody, anybody that wants to get a hold of me, my best way is just to email me, heatherplood@gmail.com. I will send you a link to my Calendly. We'll get you in on a one-on-one. Oh, how to imprint a tincture. Same way. So you put it in a shot glass. So you take, so this is iodine, but it would be the same. Oh, yeah. So it would be the same way with a tincture. So I think that's what you're asking, right? Yeah. So if you have a tincture and you want to know if you need to take it, you would take that tincture and put it in a shot glass and then just scan it in. So write down the name of the tincture, just like you would with any supplement, but a glass. I usually use for things like that. I usually use a shot glass. Yeah. You're welcome. All righty. Good night, everybody. I'll have the recording up. I'm going to put it up tonight because we've got people from other countries that are enjoying the recording. So they can't make it tonight from Europe. And I have been thinking about adding another meeting maybe on Sunday night. So send me an email if you think that's a good idea. If you could make it on Sunday, or maybe we could move this to Sunday, because it does seem like it's working for some people and I don't want to stop it. If you can make it on Wednesday and it's good for you, send me an email. If you can make it on Sunday and that's better for you, I don't mind doing it a couple of times, but that would be the other night that I would be able to do it is Sunday night. So anyway, good night, everybody. Sending you much love and healing and awesome frequencies. Good vibes. Good night, everybody.